Howdy, howdy. As the title says, probably gonna be a short stream. I almost didn't stream, but I was like, I can't wait till next week. Might as well do something better than nothing, I guess, you know? So I'm just gonna doodle. Try to keep things low brain. I have a pretty bad headache right now, so I was like, try to keep things low brain. Try to not overthink it too much. Yeah, I have not been sleeping well lately. Ugh. It's the thing. As always, start with a circle. That's like the basic thing. Big ol' ears. I don't know, maybe I could try to... I wanted to change the way I draw eyes, not permanently. I always go back to these eyes, like, very simple, you know? But I was like, maybe I could try something different. I have to be, like, very conscious about the choices if I'm gonna try something new, because then I just go back to what I used to do always. Right, I didn't want this hair to go so high, actually. Just a little tuft. I don't remember the last time I drew a deer. I feel like it's actually been quite a while. I did make another deer character. I can't stop making them. Also, I think I adopted a deer. I adopted 2 deers, so those were already there too. Oh, big neck. It's tricky because deer do have really big necks, but then I'm like translating it to furries. Eyes could go over here. Alright, we got the basic of a deer. Just save that. Oh yeah, it's not even my usual stream day, right? I postponed. What is it, Thursday? It's been a while since I've streamed on Thursday. Hey, Shy Hermit Crab. How are you doing? I just noticed these disembodied eyes. They can go away. I'm gonna look at eyes for inspiration because I'm like, let's go to my default. I might still go to my default, but at least I'll have something to look at. Also, like, my voice is starting to kind of struggling. Some things going on today. Eyeballs. That's what we're looking at. I used to do very detailed eyes, and then I just kind of changed everything, I guess. I'm trying to think of a couple ways to draw them. Any interesting shapes? I feel like I typically go round a lot. Nothing's like sparking joy. There was one time that I did the eyelashes like this, kind of outlined it. I don't dig it. Big day today. Had to drive to the city with your daughter to pick out new house keys. Stopping at the Botanic Gardens for picnic lunch. Nice. That sounds really lovely. One of the few times she can get you out of the house. Nice. So it's like spring over there? Is that right? Or is it starting to feel a little bit more summery? Smile. I feel like this character has a bit of a smug look. And a bandana, because why not? That's kind of cute. Let's see what I can do with this. Actually make it bigger. Enhance. Spring, yes, but 70s must stay. Would you consider 70s to be hot? I feel like, yeah, 70s like is kind of perfect. I like 60s Fahrenheit. But yeah, it's because I like it a little bit cooler. 70s does sound really nice. I desperately need to go out a little more. It's been like rainy, so it's just been hard. I've been meaning to repot my plants, and I'm just like, keep postponing and it rains. 70s is close to perfect. Nice. Sounds lovely. Those are some eyelashes. Still getting a bit of rain every few days, but it stays warm. That's nice. Warm rain is very interesting. Do y'all get like tropical rain? Yeah, I've only experienced that like when traveling, but it's very nice. Warm tropical rain after a very hot day. Your ears are weird because they kind of stick out farther than you'd think. I'm always like inflicted on their ears. I feel like that flap doesn't make sense. Alright, I'm gonna ignore the eyeballs for now. I'm thinking it too much. Tiny little hair tuft. Resist the temptation to make it too detailed. Also, deer aren't very fluffy. You have to resist the urge to just give it a bunch of fluff. Summers can be periods of extreme heat followed by heavy rain to cool everything off again, then repeat. So like, got a rain season. It's nice. Yeah, opposed to like no rain. I said ignore the eyes and then I kept drawing them. I'll do an outline. How about that? And come back to it later. Angry. Or like evil. I feel like the tie would probably go farther back, but I'll put it here for now. Where? haven't had any lunch, so that's probably what's gonna make the stream get cut a little bit shorter. I want to squish this up here. Nope, not small. It always trips me up with Clip Studio. I feel like Photoshop is a little bit different with their transform tools. Y'all have any favorite Halloween spooky songs? I mean, the Monster Mash is a classic. Other than that, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I would guess Thriller. Can't think of any modern ones. I can think of some Japanese ones, but not in English. Alright, I'm gonna leave that deer there. They're just gonna hang out. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna color them. Audi demo disc. Little kind of sneak peek. Wait a second. No, that's not the one I was looking for. Oh, maybe I lost it. Never mind, we're eyeballing it. I lost my reference. Kind of orange-ish. Oh, I guess the handkerchief shouldn't be included, but whatever. I feel like I'm getting better at picking colors, because I was actually I guess not picking colors, making them work in the end, if that makes any sense. Like mixing them. Because I felt like I needed a little bit more help. Like I would use a lot of color picking before, which ain't nothing wrong with that, but I don't know, kind of validated to be like, ah, I figured it out, kind of. Color choices are always brilliant. Thank you so much. Color theory is pretty wild. I feel like as far as the actual theory, I wouldn't say I'm advanced. There was like some wild color theory stuff that I learned in school that I did not retain. But knowing the basics definitely helps a lot. Sometimes it's just like kind of going with your gut, I guess. Oh, also, like observing. Because I feel like as a kid, I always really liked looking at lighting. Because one of my favorite things was the I Spy books. And oh my god, the lighting in that, beautiful. 10 out of 10. Very, like, nostalgic lighting. And I think that's what, like, I'm like, yeah. I want to achieve that. Not with all my pieces, but sometimes. It's a little too yellow. I'm gonna change it. Well, kind of like that reddish. I don't know. I don't really have a reddish character like that. The old bisexual lighting. Isn't color theory really just common sense? Someone wrote down. I don't know what common sense, because like the thing that really tripped me up, we did these exercises and it was like put two colors together and so this has been a couple years ago, so I'm like a little bit rusty on that, but like the way you put them next to each other, they can like end up looking different, if that makes any sense. Gonna be politically correct, say 50% of furries know jack shit about color theory. Yeah, I feel like a good chunk of not just furry artists, but artists online are self-taught. And I mean self-taught in the sense of like didn't do formal education, which is totally fine. A good chunk of the stuff I had to like supplement was like watching videos on YouTube. Like I think it's so funny that got held. I see what you mean. I totally forgot about yes, personas. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, not even the artists necessarily. Yeah, no, so I guess yeah, sometimes you can tell if someone makes a persona and you're like, I don't think this person is an artist. Like, no shade. But yeah, no, I've seen a lot of neons get put together. And I mean, if they like it, they like it. But for me, sometimes I'm like, whoa, we gotta tone that down a little bit. I wonder if I can find an example of like this funky color theory practice that we did. I don't even know what I would type in though. Color theory. There was like a weird one where we had put two specific colors together and we had these color sheets and you put them right next to each other and like they started buzzing, if that makes any sense. Like visually they looked like they were buzzing. And that was just like a weird reaction of like our brain and those two colors. 50% of furries have a color palette that's like fell over to paint store. I mean, kind of. Here, let me see if I can get a picture of the color wheel here. Let me just Google one. Oh, come on, we need a better color wheel than this. This is too fine. Color wheel gradient. Okay, the internet's not helping me here. I'll take a screenshot. I'm also just very partial to earth tones. I'm not very creative when it comes to things. Earth tones and like grayscale. Okay, here we go. We got the color wheel. I feel like a lot of people, let me grab dang, it's gonna be hard to stand out. I feel like a lot of people hang out in this bright area right here. So this, like, all these bright colors. So they're like, hey, I want a green furry. Okay, so we get the lime neon green. And ooh, I like the color blue. And so they get this, and it's like, ooh, that kind of hurts in the eyes. And not even like in the Papu fur way, because I feel like, not Papu fur, what is it? Sparkle dogs. Not even in the sparkle dog way, because like that's intentional, but yeah. Your daughter uses the color wheel all the time. She's colorblind. Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. And it'd be so tricky to try to mimic color, like, while painting, if you're colorblind, and try to mimic it. Like, I know some people, like, use apps and be like, this is apparently what pink is, so I will choose this color. That's too much brain work for me. Impressive. For the record, doesn't mean some boring square. That always only wants realistic persona colors, but no, if you want to unrealistic colors should be aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, design is design has a lot. Not just color theory. Neon magenta and neon cyan. Cyan. Let me see. I mean, out of all the combos, I feel like neon magenta and neon cyan down here is more bearable than like this green and blue here. But yeah, no, I feel like a lot of people just yeah, like to hang out on the top here. Way more magenta? Ooh. Oh wait. I think like this. Bottom left. Oh, there's like this one that's like almost kind of purpley. Ooh. Yeah, I did draw a hyena character way back in the day. That was more like the first one. Let me go back. That was more like this. A little bit more toned down. And I was like, I kind of like that. But yeah, it all depends how important design is for you. And the other tricky part is if you want a fursuit, it's really hard to find certain colors. Like I was looking at purples for spicy, and no, they only really have like purple, like kind of this color. And I'm like, nah, that's not quite spicy. Spicy's more of a like a muted plum, but I don't know. I guess I could settle. It's a line where the body is gray and the mane is alternating the green and magenta. Yeah, combining things with gray, I feel like the type of gray is important. Is it a warm gray? Is it a cool gray? Yeah, and I do not claim to be a graphic designer at all, or much of a designer. I just kind of wing it sometimes because I am too cheap to pay for someone to do graphic design for me. Gray can work, but you have to be careful with it. Yeah. This brown here, I'm gonna turn it a little bit more red. Well, if anything, this is an interesting exercise in not color picking from my reference. There we go. The brownish nose. Remember one election when political party campaign signs were orange with a soft gray that accented it well. I'm like trying to picture it. I can't really picture it, but I trust you. Like, orange is one of those colors, if you do it right, it looks amazing. Beautiful. I feel like I love pink, favorite color, but I feel like pink has a lot more leniency, whereas orange, if you get it right, very pretty. Orange is your favorite color? Surprise. Right. I always forget that, like, I don't really register, the name colors that people pick, especially when sometimes they change. If somebody else is, there. Like, if somebody else is there with the same color, sometimes it, like, automatically changes people's colors. Certain president in a gray suit. Can't say I understand. I know the reference. flashbacks to people losing their mind over whatchamacallit. Obama wearing a tan suit. What the heck? What year was that? 'Cause I just want to look up the color combo. Oh, right. Yeah, that one. Okay. Jump scare. Don't wanna. Oh, my brain is like, no, I don't want to think about that guy. Just I need the side image? Alright. Flip. Flip. Whoa, look at this facial expression. I love it. That's some wild energy, though. Me when I'm gonna steal the last baked good. Maybe move the eyebrow a little bit. Oh, they had freckles too. Okay. I was like, I knew something was missing. Trying to remember, did I choose? I think it was just the main fur color. Guess his ear doesn't close in the right way. Kind of. Screw it, I'm gonna look up what the heck. Oh, I guess the ear could also be facing the other way. I'll try something. Cover all of that. Deer and their weird ears. I don't know. Okay, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. What? I mean, they don't have the image. I guess their ears just kind of look that weird. Can I copy this? Copy... I don't want to copy the link. But this deer isn't looking the right way. Never mind. Let's see, copy image, see if that works. I was kind of leaning forward. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna erase this part. And let's make it look more like that. Get rid of that. Show my drawings, Alt-Sona of myself. Nah, it's just another character I designed. I have many deer characters. This was just another one to add to the mix. I don't even know how many characters I've designed. I know my toy house, I have like over 40 characters, but that includes adopted characters as well as, I guess, characters I've designed for others. Oh, I forgot the antlers. That's what I was forgetting. I should draw more deer without antlers, but I also really like drawing antlers, so makes it hard to just focus on no antlers. Those are long. I want to make them shorter. Shoot, they're on a different layer. Otherwise, I guess they're on the same layer. One less. Zoom out. I don't know how noticeable it would be if I crunch this down. Oh, that creates a weird silhouette. Right there. I need to get rid of some of the hair here. Whoop. I guess they'd probably be the same color as the ear tips. Great, get rid of this line too. Actually, wait. Where the heck do the antlers sit? Is it in front of the ear or behind the ear? Yeah, it looks like it's in front of the ear. Okay. That makes sense. Initially I wanted to play games today. It's usually second stream of the week is usually games, but because of my headache and the two games I was interested in playing are like a little bit of eye strain, I was like, probably not then. Alright, put this fella over here. A little oomph. There we go. Hydration. I think of like a pose. This is always my trickiest part. I feel like I'm decent at backgrounds. I feel like, you know, decent at color and some character design, but poses. Coming up with a pose? I think I just overthink the purpose of the pose. Actually, I'm gonna move this fellow over here, so they're not looking at anything in particular. Alright, so I started with a circle last time. Having to think. I actually don't know where the ears would be if they were facing away from you. Funky deer ears. Something else. Front facing. Or super cheap. Like, big head, eyeball. Tiny body. Not quite what I was going for. You'd probably flip it around. A little bit of liquefying here. Make the neck shorter. Yeah. Not the cleanest doodle, but whatever. I think instead of deer, I'm gonna switch over to bird. It might be a little trickier because they have I think their facial expressions with the beak is something else. I'm still trying to figure out. Second. References. Okay. Like a little bit too round, maybe sharper beak. I do want them to have some hair, but I'm still not decided on that. Let me grab the old picture I drew of them. They're very cutesy here. I'm gonna grab this and copy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna erase this one up here. Too round of a beak. That was on a different layer. Delete the whole layer then. Like, how do we make this bird less cutesy? All I know is how to draw cutesy birds. I don't know. I'm trying. Perhaps a pointier beak? I don't know, it gets more cartoonish the pointier it gets. They're supposed to resemble ravens, and ravens kind of have that hooked beak going on. Rather than like a sparrow-looking beak. Where'd that deer reference go? Use this as a reference. I'm not quite sure where the light's coming in. It looks like it's coming in from the back. Looks like an ad's about to start. I'm just gonna keep drawing. Since it's a short stream, I'm probably gonna stop in like 15 minutes. With shadows out. Yeah, I kind of like it. What if we do this? Might make it, I don't know, a little too weird. Eh. Alright, well I was struggling with the bird sketches, so I'm just gonna put them all together and hide them. No birds here. They were never here. I'll look up pose. Welcome back from the ads. Maybe just a sitting pose. Let's see if I can just sketch that out. I feel like I've drawn a sitting pose recently. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Oh, it was. It was the YCH sitting on the bridge. Okay, so how to make this pose more interesting than just sitting there. A bit of a leaning over. Leaning onto something. Not sure what they'd be leaning on, but making cubes here. Not cubes, surfaces. Flip. Oh, let's see. Way too big of a pen. It's bigger. I feel like we could push this leg farther away. Maybe. Thinking possibly a longer torso, but yeah. Hey, Zachary. Happy almost Halloween. Yeah, same. Like, I need to draw something Halloween-y. The ghost. Spooky. Went to Spirit earlier with your father? Nice. Have a good haul or something? I've actually never been to a single Spirit Halloween. Probably because I don't live in a city. So it's like a mythical place that the internet has told me exists. Not much. Father wanted to get a hook and a rat. Because he wanted you to dress up as a fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh, I've actually never seen the film, but that sounds pretty fun. Honestly pretty good. Okay, okay. Mentally make a note of that. There's like so many films that I'm like, they're classics, you know? Like everyone's seen them. Just never get around to watching it. Slowly but surely. Making my way. A ghost possum? I'm trying to like think about that. Ghost possum. Let me think. Let me see. Put this deer drawing on pause because we got some holiday related things to attend to. Like what if this is kind of grim. I was like, what if the possum's like, I'm dead. And then like they got a ghost coming out. Wait, we gotta make more room here. Cannot contain it all. Any plans for Halloween? Yeah, gonna have a little party. Luckily I'm not hosting. Pretty fun. Possum's gonna be looking down at themselves, being like, what? Huh. They're like standing. The little squiggly guy. How about yourself? Yeah, luckily Halloween's on a Friday night. Always sucks when it's like in the middle of the week. I feel like it needs to be more cartoony. It actually looks very... This is a throwback to an old drawing I did. Back when my persona was a penguin sona. Gosh, what year was that? Thinking of dressing up as Michael Myers and Ghostface and walk around the front porch to attract some trick-or-treaters. Nice. That's fun. I've heard like, yeah, some people's neighborhoods get like no trick-or-treaters despite the fact it being like a pretty big neighborhood or like something. Yeah. But yeah, if your place gets the trick-or-treaters, that's awesome. This was it. Throwback. This was the last Inktober I did. And, I was feeling pretty dead. That was the feeling. I don't know how, yeah, I was like, I had a better idea of what a ghost looked like back then. I don't know what, my ghost skills have been, rusty. Thank you. I feel like I didn't give them enough room. Make the awesome ghost taller. Got the eyes. Stock up on candy every year in case, but really get trick-or-treaters. Might get some this year, lots of kids around here. Yeah. I guess it depends, yeah. There's like the ages of folks. Also, I had no idea that there was trick-or-treating in Australia. Because, like, I know in, like, I recall correctly, like, in, like, Britain, not so much. Like, all of Europe, nah. I'm surprised. Got more treats? At least you have some extra candy to yourselves in case you don't have any trick-or-treaters. It's true. On the plus side, you get candy. I don't know if I want them to be curled up like this, but if they're sitting up like this, then I'm just mimicking it too much. Also, Halloween is not big here. Outside shops trying to push on the sell stuff. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I feel like Halloween, like, as like the trick-or-treater thing, is slowly dying. But I feel like people are still like into the aesthetics. I feel like lockdown also kind of like changed it up a bit. What was the best treat you got, Toy Girly? Wait, wrong pencil. Do ghosts have ears? Ooh. Twizzlers and Twix. Oh, Twix are good. Kind of give them deer ears. Yeah, I feel like out of the chocolate, like, mainstream candy bars, I think Twix is probably the favorite. It's kind of sad. Rest in peace, opossum. The head is too small. Sad fact of opossums. They only live for like 3 years. I've been spicy for more than that, so I don't know. Maybe I am the ghost possum. 100 grands, Crunch, and Milky Ways are also so good. What are 100 grands? I need to look that up. Grand bar. Oh. I don't know how. Like, I recognize these. I don't know how I've, like, missed them. Huh. Like, I've never seen them, like, in a Halloween mix. You know? You know how, like, you can buy those bags that have, like, a bunch of little mixes? Pretty much a Crunch bar. Okay. Yeah, Crunch bars are pretty good. Got the good texture. feel like it needs more of a shoulder going on here. I don't know. Something funky. No one knows about them, so you get them all. Nice. A little farther. Guess I could just move. What the fuck is 100 grand? Do you want it? I guess like by the packaging, like, yeah, it's kind of hard to even tell what's going on there. Duplicate this. Something I want to change. This back area. Give them more of a spine. It does kind of look like toffee candy, yeah. And like the red, I don't know, there's something funky about it that makes me think like, I don't know, it's not what it is. One more fluff, maybe. Imagine if 100 grand actually costs 100 grand. Or they just like, I don't know, it's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they got you like a golden ticket that gave you 100 grand. Oh, I'd buy 100 grand bars all the time. Be rolling in money then. I used to do the thing that, like you'd go out and buy the candy day after Halloween to get like a good deal. But I feel like people all know about that now, so it's like you have to go super early. I'm just like, ah, whatever. Cheddar Ranch is a crunch bar with caramel. I mean, that sounds good. I feel like I've had one like a very long time ago. Can't go wrong with the caramel, though. I'm wondering how I should color this. Or just leave it like that. Just a sketch. Ah, we should color it. Make it look a little bit more interesting. It doesn't have to be super neat. Caramel's good. Enhances a lot of flavors. Apple with caramel? Hell yeah. That was a bright pink. Oh well. Sometimes we need a little bit of brightness in our life. I feel like if I actually turn into a ghost, but I could go anywhere, I would like go to concerts. Just be able to float around. I feel like being tied to a house would be really awful. Would be fun. Yeah, what would y'all do if you were a ghost and could like go anywhere? A vampire child in Skyrim? Oh. I haven't gotten far enough to know the lore. I should revisit Skyrim. One day, one day. Right, maybe mess with the sketch a little bit more and call it good. Big hoodie. Love the free stuff. One thing that I do appreciate is that you can get shoes cheaper. Because I typically like shoes, I really like sneakers. And I could just go into the boys area and just buy cheaper shoes. What's going on behind all this mess? And mischief. Flip it. I'll probably look at a reference later. I'm just eyeballing it for now. Free stuff is always awesome. Indeed. Just looking at this ghost. Alright, no mouth for now. It's a little sketch page. Ghost is left speechless, literally. Alright, well, we're gonna start the raid already. Thank you so much for hanging out. I know it was like a weird schedule and a short stream, but really appreciate y'all hanging. We'll say hi to Burly Raptor, doing some funky 3D stuff. Such a fun stream and no worries. Oh, thank you. Alright, take care, y'all. See y'all next week. Oh, have a happy Halloween. Stay safe. Goodbye.